Coming up, investigating mysterious earthworks at Poverty Point, Louisiana. Rare script unearthed in an English garden. And we delve deep into the Sutton Hoo story. Welcome to Time Team News, your monthly dose of archaeology news and discoveries from Britain and across the globe. And welcome back to the Find Shed. Well, can you believe it's episode 10 already? And we've got some great developments lined up for you, so stick with us to the end for news of a very special new Time Team special featuring Sir Tony Robinson. But first, we've been looking through the comments from last month and had an overwhelming positive response for more about the archaeology of Dartmoor. So we hear you loud and clear, and do look out for more on this in a future episode. Also, we've had some lovely comments coming in on our 30th birthday episode, The Secrets of Witch Farm.
This one I'm holding. Got it. I think that's our show. That's iron. Better?
I know this site is very personal to Derek and he's been very humbled by the results. But first, something rather special. It's a rare treat to be able to work on a World Heritage site, but even more so when the site is thousands of miles away across the world. Time Team's very own geophys whiz, Jimmy Adcock, has travelled across the Atlantic to investigate an enigmatic site.
My name's Jimmy Adcock and I'm a geophys specialist at Guideline Geo. We manufacture, among other things, radar systems that have been used on Time Team episodes old and new. My own personal Time Team journey started some 20 years ago as part of John Gator's survey team, and since then I've worked on prehistoric sites, massive Roman forts, the gardens of Windsor Castle and even Shakespeare's house. So, this week I'll be travelling to Louisiana in the United States of America, not with a radar system, but with one of these, a resistivity tomography unit. I'm hoping to be able to help a team of archaeologists answer some questions about a mega prehistoric site called Poverty Point. Let me give you some stats. Poverty Point comprises of a 43-acre terraformed plaza that would have been filled with timber circles. Surrounding that plaza are 6 concentric semicircular ridges that are some 3/4 of a mile across. In turn, that is surrounded by a series of earth mounds, the largest of which is over 70 feet tall, 700 feet long and 650 feet wide. They think it would have been built of about 15.5 million baskets of soil, and that a large proportion of the mound may have been constructed inside of 3 months. The site has returned over 8,000 spearheads and countless stone artifacts, despite the fact there is no natural stone for miles around, and geological analysis has shown that some of the raw materials must have travelled hundreds of miles to get to Poverty Point. All of this is incredibly impressive, but made even more so when you realise that this was built by hunter-gatherers. There are no parallels in the world for a site of this scale being built by a community who were not harnessing formal agriculture. 3,500 years ago, hunter-gatherers formed what is effectively a city. People living and working and trading together. It's this uniqueness that allowed Poverty Point to gain World Heritage status from UNESCO in 2014. But why? Why build such a big site? And why position it where it is? That's a question that still hasn't fully been answered. A good argument is that for trade, it sits on the side of a river that links very easily to the Mississippi and therefore much of North America. However, a previous geophysics survey has revealed the presence of some small enigmatic mounds buried beneath the plaza. These are nothing like the scale of the mounds that surround the ridges, and the question mark remains as to whether they are built by human hand or whether they are natural. If they are natural, Are they mud volcanoes? Now these things are bubbly, hot and smelly, and sometimes on fire because the gas that comes up is combustible.
You can see this is from outside and at the same depth within the anomaly. You can see all these dark bits.
And so imagine being a hunter-gatherer community wandering the Mississippi Delta, coming across oozing, smelly mounds of mud, possibly on fire. It would be very hard to explain, probably something you'd want to respect, and possibly a good enough reason to build the world's first hunter-gatherer city. Well, we've made it. We're here at Poverty Point. It is chucking it down rain at the moment. I'm reliably informed the weather is going to get much, much better, warmer, hotter, sunnier, which will be very useful given how much work we've got to do here. So this is pretty cool. Effectively got the keys to a World Heritage Site. That doesn't happen every day, does it? Well, the sun has officially wrapped up work earlier than we have today. On the plus side, the light around here when the sun goes down is fantastic.
Wow, what a fascinating site. And we'll be sharing more of Jimmy's Poverty Point adventures with you in due course, including the results of the survey. So watch this space for more details. Next up, ancient Gaelic writing has been found carved onto a stone in a Midlands garden. Whilst doing some weeding in his garden during lockdown, Coventry resident Graham Senior discovered a stone carved with markings on it. Now, he initially recorded the find with the Portable Antiquities Scheme, which is a national database for logging finds found around the UK. And recently it's been confirmed that these markings on the stone are actually an ancient type of script known as ogham or ogham that first originated in Ireland in the 4th century Common Era. The script is rare and unusual because it's not made up of letters of the alphabet, but a series of lines, a little bit like a barcode, that run off a central stem line to the left and the right of it. And it's even more unusual because it's a 3D script. Originally, it was carved into stones using the edge of stones as the stem line, with the script going off to the left and the right around the stone. And it's thought it developed in this way because when carving onto wooden objects such as sticks or twigs, if you want to write a message on a twig, it's a lot easier to carve vertical lines into it than it is to try and write letters of the alphabet. The inscription has been initially translated by Professor Catherine Forsyth of the University of Glasgow, and it's thought that the first part of the inscription contains a person's name. Another example of ogham script was discovered by Time Team's very own Matt Williams during the excavation of a chapel on the Isle of Man, and we've put the link to that episode in the description box below.
Believe it or not, these faint marks could belong to one of the earliest forms of writing in the British Isles, ogham.
Ogham script is usually found in Ireland and the western coast of Britain, including Scotland, Wales, Devon and Cornwall. So quite how this new discovery ended up in a Midlands garden remains a mystery. The stone is on display at the Herbert Art Gallery and Museum in Coventry until April 2025. Book of the month now, and this time we're joined by Time Team friend Bettany Hughes. Bettany has joined us on many episodes of Time Team over the years, and she's here to talk about her latest book, The 7 Wonders of the Ancient World.
Hello, everybody. How lovely to see you on this platform. So I'm delighted to have been invited here to talk about my new book, The 7 Wonders of the Ancient World, if you can see that. So just a tiny, tiny brief intro. It's been very funny talking about this book because people have said to me, oh, how did you choose your 7 wonders? And of course, I haven't got a massive ego. These aren't my 7 wonders. These are the 7 wonders of the ancient world as listed in ancient times back 2,200 years ago. So it is, you will all know it, but I just might as well run you through the Great Pyramid of Giza, or the Great Pyramids of Giza, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, wherever they were, whether or not they existed. So I have to say, I found it really interesting talking to people about this book. And the one that they've all remembered is The Hanging Gardens of Babylon. You will all know it's the only one for which we don't have hard and fast archaeological evidence. So it could have been in Babylon, or these could have been in Nineveh, 100 miles to the north. It's the statue of Zeus at Olympia, the great temple of Artemis at Ephesus, the mausoleum of Halicarnassus, the Colossus of Rhodes, and of course the great lighthouse of Alexandria. And why I think you might love this is that I've basically written the book as a journey between all seven, because we know that's what the ancients did. A lot of these lists existed basically to say these are the things that you need to see before you die. So we know that ancient pilgrims and tourists would go and travel between them all and boast about the fact that they'd seen them. So I've done a journey between them, and I've also been looking at the new archaeology around them and trying to work out not just why they were built or how they were built, but what they meant to the world that built them, and what wonder means both to us and to the ancients. So that is The Seven Wonders of the Ancient World. I hope you love it. It's taken me years and years and years and years and years to write it. Hopefully it won't take you years to read it. So have a look, and I'm going all around the country and indeed around the world talking about it. So thank you so much for letting me in to just sort of share a little bit of my excitement about it with you. See you soon.
The book has had the thumbs up from Lucy Worsley and Stephen Fry, no less. The Seven Wonders of the Ancient World is published by W&N Press and is available in bookshops now. And one of those wonders is particularly topical right now, as archaeologists working at the pyramids of Giza have just announced the exciting discovery of some intriguing underground anomalies. The pyramids never cease to amaze, ever throwing up new insights. As technology gets better and more precise, non-invasive techniques are helping to map out the structures hidden beneath the sand. The project was led by Higashi Nippon International University, Tohoku University, and the National Research Institute of Astronomy and Geophysics in Egypt. The team carried out both ground-penetrating radar and electrical resistivity tomography surveys at the Western Cemetery. The surveys identified an L-shaped anomaly up to 2 metres below the ground surface, possibly an earlier entrance that has since backfilled with sand, which in turn leads to a deeper and larger structure, about 5 to 10 metres below the ground. The researchers say we cannot determine the material causing the anomaly, but it may be a large subsurface archaeological structure. The findings have been published in the journal Archaeological Prospection, and we've included the link to that in the description box below. And finally, we've got an extremely exciting month ahead, because June is all about Sutton Hoo. And the month kicks off with part 1 of a brand new Time Team special, the Sutton Hoo ship Rebuilding a Legend. And we're thrilled to be able to share a first look at that with you now.
1400 years ago, a great king was laid to rest under this very mound in a vast wooden ship surrounded by lavish golden treasure. Since its excavation, the treasures have been conserved and reconstructed. All that is, except for the ship itself, all 88 feet of it.
This is the largest artifact in the Sutton Hoo Mound 1 burial. It needs restoring.
It's a challenge, but it's a huge opportunity. It's the opportunity of a lifetime.
It was literally just an impression in the sand. It's a ghost ship.
It isn't simply just science, archaeology. It's science with a turbocharge of imagination.
It has a lot more to tell us, and it's still full of mysteries.
The big adventure is to take it on the river and then take it on the sea. Then we'll really know what it's like to be in the 7th century.
You don't find these nowadays, do you?
No, that's coming off there, look.
That should keep us busy for a while. This hole must be jinxed.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed as well.
Step back, Tony, please. Can't have a national treasure under a log.
I don't know how long it's going to take.
Well, that looks exciting. I can't wait to watch all of that. And that's just the start. Following on from this, Time Team have the extremely privileged honour of excavating at Sutton Hoo, the first excavations there in over 30 years. We're working in partnership with the National Trust for a special dig investigating Gardenfield, a little known area of the site. We'll also be test pitting in the landscape, shedding light on the wider context of Sutton Hoo. Throughout the month, Time Team will present a range of exclusive coverage, opening and closing with 2 live shows presented by Dr. Helen Geek and Sir Tony Robinson, respectively, right here on YouTube. What's more, members on Patreon will be treated to additional Dig Watch coverage, daily 360 cam live streams direct from the site, Q&As with the team, 3D models and much more. You really don't want to miss this, so make sure that you subscribe to this channel and consider joining us over on Patreon to catch all the action as it unfolds. And next month's Time Team news will be coming live direct from Sutton Hoo, and that's something that I'm really looking forward to. Well, that's it for this month. As usual, all our 3D models featured in this month's episode can be found over on our Patreon channel, along with extended interviews and much more. So thank you for watching. Please do remember to subscribe to this channel and press the notification bell to receive all the latest updates. Well, that's all from me for now, and I look forward to seeing you next time.
Join Time Team on Patreon to access exclusive 3D models, masterclasses and behind-the-scenes insights.